Pataki did within his administration, he turned around and pulled out the educational system within the prison system. He made it clear. And what they did, they turned around, and what they have done is turned around and appointed all these different Afro-American reverends to tendencies at different schools. You got Butch at Old Westbury, you have Flake over in Ohio State. What they've done, they give them tendencies. What happens is they should be the first ones screaming about the educational system being taken out the prison system itself. It's a revolving door. George, what happened was that Cuomo was the one that started the complex of the prison complex of dealing with building all these prisons. What happens, the only thing Pataki did was piggyback on what Cuomo did. Cuomo did a great job when he brought the educational system within the prison system. At least you were getting educated with that. But now what they're doing, they're abusing people there. I was beaten there, told to keep my mouth shut. This came from the judge, okay? This is very, and her son, her son was beaten as well up there.
20 years. El Amir A. Varick Ahmed just came home after 20 years. They just beat my son so bad that when I went to where they beat him at, the blood was all over the walls. I'd literally seen my son's blood all over the walls. And they wanted him to become a confidential informant. Now, there was no drugs, no rape, no murder, no pistols, no nothing. You understand me? And they took and told him, we want you to do this. If you don't do it, we're going to give you big time. They gave him 25 years to life. He did 20 years and came home and says, I was guilty. I wasn't guilty, as far as the crime. And he said, and I would not say that I was guilty. I would not, you understand me, take and point the finger at somebody that did something knowing that they did not do it. You understand me? And I like his integrity and his honor to himself. Right. You understand me? Because you know what? Integrity and honor has to start within you. I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't nothing. I love me. And we have to get to the point where we start loving ourselves first and not let somebody tell me who I am. You can't tell me who I am. I am Queen Nazimova Varick. That's who I am. You understand? That's who I'm going to be. You're never going to be able to define me. And I love me first. I don't love things. I don't love things. I love Nazimova Varick first. And the problem is that we love things. We love our car. We love clothes. Clothes don't make you. Clothes don't give you the intellect you need. Clothes don't make you righteous. You understand me? Jews, rich Jews, walk up and down these streets. They have dungarees on and raggedy sneakers, and they have millions and millions and millions of dollars. You understand me? We wear $300 sneakers and $200 clothes and don't have a nickel in our pockets. Trying to impress who?
It's very interesting that you said that, because one of the things I want to say is being able to put the word out there and actually dealing with addressing issues. And one of the things I've done, the reason why I said to myself, if I can market people like George Benson or Melville Moore or Frida Payne or market HBA or market different people, I said I built a platform I can market myself. And one of the things that I'm trying to do is basically build this platform. It's not all about me, it's about our community. And people say, why do you do these things? I do these things because a lot of times when brothers get out of prison, they don't have the same platform that I have to deal with addressing issues that's very important to our community. This is the lawyer to me, what this judge did to me and what this lawyer did, Anthony Fowler, what he did to me, how Redding rolling me through the system, the embarrassment and the abuse that I received because I was fighting my issues, it really hurts me more than anything in the world. I could get violent, okay? No one puts their hands on me. No one puts their hand on mama's black child. But the bottom line, my mother told me the sword the pen is stronger than the sword. So my bottom line to what I'm doing now is using the pen. What I'm doing now is addressing issues that is very important to me as a black man in America. I am sick and tired of black men being rolled through the system. The reason why, when you start dealing with addressing issues within the prison system, those beds had to be filled. If any person come along and think that the complexes of New York City has the largest complex in this country of building prisons, and the biggest prison you have is Rikers Island. So the bottom line is that by doing that, what happens is George Pataki had to send men upstate with the blessings of Giuliani. And anytime you have a church that's using buses, church buses to transport black men upstate, it's a disgrace. So the bottom line is, what I'm trying to tell you is that the same people we look at for protection, the same people we look at for to help us, it's like the black churches are not there anymore. What we need to do is come together as a group, as a whole, as a community, as a village, and raise our children up and with our heads high and say no more. We cannot take any more of this abuse. If it's happening, if they're killing people on the streets, they're shooting a man 42 times on the street. What do you think they're doing in the prison system upstate? If they have no, if the police department has no respect for you on the street, what do you think they're doing in the prison system upstate? The bottom line is what we have to understand, just the crime may have been committed upstate. I mean, the person may have committed the crime, but you still have rights. They're still human beings.
But I'm saying that what we need to do as far as these prisons and things is concerned, first of all, let's put cameras in the prisons.
There are cameras in certain states.
No, let's put cameras in the prison. Not that the correction officers, man. We need to have civilian review boards all across the board. Education, the penal system, social systems, all of it. We don't do that. We need to put our eyes on them like they have their eyes on us. But
how do you do that?
But cameras, and don't hire government to man these cameras. And the other thing is that we have to be responsible for our actions. They might put the drugs in our neighborhoods, we don't have to take them. Right. We don't have to, they put the guns in our neighborhoods, we don't have to use them. So we have to take responsibility for our actions and what we do also. And we have to rise above what they think we're going to do. Yes, me, because if I look in my neighborhood, when I moved in the neighborhood that I'm in now, I really never lived in a predominantly black neighborhood. They're comfortable with nothing. How can you be comfortable with nothing? The children don't live, they don't leave off of that block, and their mothers and fathers have cars that they could take them to Bear Mountain, Coney Island, so many places. Their whole life is in this little tiny circle. They're like boxed in.
You know, sir, it's very interesting what you're saying too. It's so incredible.
I only got 5 minutes.
Okay,
so.
well, it's really incredible what you're saying because, you know, one of the things I've learned, you know, Martin Luther King said, if a man has nothing to live for, a man has nothing to die for. The bottom line is what you got to understand is that I know by doing these different programs, I was coming out of my house about a year ago, and they had the police department outside my house, undercover police officers standing there looking at me, threatening me, telling me, you did it. See, I know what I'm looking for, but one of the things you have to understand is that I know that I'm not afraid to die. And I heard when they were beating me up, they said it came from the judge, because I wrote the judge in traditionary conduct. When they beat me up, they told me to keep my mouth shut. The bottom line is that I feel so antagonized and so disrespected to the point where it hurts me from the deepest of my heart to know that in the community that I came from, they allowed it to go on. I have spoken to reverends about it. I have spoken to the communities about it. No one seems to be concerned. This woman's son was
No one's concerned about anything till it happens.
Until it happens to them.
That's
right.
It's
so debonair. I mean, degrading to me, to knowing that who I am and knowing that I am not a violent person. I get upset, I get mad, but the bottom line is that I am not a violent person. I'm not the person who runs around picking a fight. I don't bring a gun to the fight. It's all half the time the gun comes.
Let's say we only get.
Well, this is the program, and I tell everybody we have to love ourselves first, and when we begin to love ourselves, we'll love each other. Cornelius is dealing with youth violence, and I'm dealing with love. Love overriding, violence ending. We're going to have a program at Flushing Meadows Park on the 31st of this month, and we're going to have speakers there. It's going to be very interesting, but what I want to put out here is that until we learn how to love ourselves, we can't love anybody else. Until we get a healing, our whole nation, especially people of color, need to begin to be healed.
You know, let me say something real quick before we go. This here is for you, Ms. Rice. I brought this for you. This plaque here says, it's a plaque for you. Stop the Urban Youth Violence, a grassroots initiative founded by Cornelius Ricks. I see black people living, loving, and respecting each other. Okay, this plaque is for you, Ms. Rice. You can hang this on your wall in your house. It's a special gift to you. Queen, this also I brought you. A conversation with Harold Chandler, Celebrity Minds. I founded a foundation for my mother. This one also is Why Does White Folks Write Black Books? This one here is My Story. Okay, this one here is Black. This is My Story. This one here is Black Media, Black Stereotypes with TVone. This one here is Why Does White Folks Write Black Books with Dr. Lincoln Jeffries, Camille Youngborough, Abdul Hafiz Muhammad. This is Why Does White Folks Write Black Books. Conversation with Harold Chandler is also the conversation dealing with the foundation I founded for my mother, the Hannah B. Ricks Foundation, when she founded Ricky Day Kindergarten. It was named after me, my sister.
I want to thank the both of you
Oh, I love you.
for having me on the show.
And one of the things I want to say to you also, one of
And
the
I
things we
want
try
to
to
say
do
that
also,
this is two powerful people.
you know, one of the things we want to say also, the T-shirt line is really incredible too, because one of the things we try to do is when I'm launching is that one of the ones that we have on the back, honor our ancestors, dealing with addressing our issues. We deal with also this T-shirt here that says honor our ancestors again, and this T-shirt here says a black genocide. This one here is a black genocide, okay? And also this T-shirt here has on the back of it, miseducation kills, which I think is very important we understand. This is a T-shirt line that we're putting together to deal with addressing urban youth violence, to deal with addressing who we are as a people and being proud of as a people. Like I see black people living, loving, and respecting each other. And I think that's something the campaign we should push forward with your campaign of love across America.
Okay.
You know,
You got me that I can't even say.
but it's so incredible.
But it's really sad what is happening. And what I have my button economic racism.
That's actually.
In which that is it.
Right, but you know, Ms. Rice,
know?
it's so beautiful what you just said, because there is an economical, when white folks get a cold, black folks get pneumonia. So one of the things you got to understand is that there is an economical problem we have in America. And that's one of the things we need to come together as a people. See, the slave master never taught you the warfare of economical growth, never taught you the warfare of self-respect, never taught you the warfare of respecting our family and growing within our communities. There's three principles that we should understand that we never been taught. And what happens is we're lingering from what they call the dramatic syndrome of our slave masters. They wasn't called terrorists. They were terrorized us for 450 years, and they still haven't called them a terrorist. They are terrorists, okay? They still haven't found the people that burned down those black churches in New York City. They still looking for them, or in the South, okay? And that had happened about, last year, 2 years ago, when they burned down all the black churches? The bottom line is that we have to understand they're not even looking for it. So the bottom line is we got terrorists right here in America that we have to understand. We got to start looking at them first. They were never called terrorists. We got to start looking at addressing who we are as a people and finding out who the real terrorists are.
Well, they're not looking for them because they are them. That's the bottom line.
I'm really glad to hear. By the way, there is a woman that I know that works out there also with the violence, and that's Jackie Rowe Adams. Do you know her?
I know, yeah, I do know
Jackie Rowe Adams.
She made me lose my rest. Everybody knows about Mississippi. Hound dogs on my trail, school children sit in jail.